Already looking back at Lamont Roach's draw against Pitbull Cruz, immediately you're always thinking that Lamont Roach just had like some major game plan issues in this fight where this guy just didn't implement the right game plan. Where we all saw in this fight that, in my opinion, I think Lamont Roach is a good enough boxer to beat Pitbull Cruz. Now, because of Lamont Roach's boxing tactical decisions, he decided to stay in the pocket for too long and exchange and stay in the pocket for too long and exchange and throw those punches and stay there for the extra punch and throw the extra punch. Basically, what he was doing was playing Pitbull's game. And Lamont Roach showed he's so good, he can even play Pitbull at his game and not get beat by Pitbull. But overall, you're still not playing to your strengths, and which is why the fight was so close, so competitive, and why we eventually saw it was a draw. But ultimately, I think if Lamont Roach was able to implement a slightly different game plan, or maybe not slightly different, but radically different game plan, which he's capable of doing because he is such a talented boxer, instead of trying to come inside and throw big shots with Pitbull, essentially, instead of playing Pitbull's great game with him, you, like Bill Haney said, do the Devin Haney, right? Do that. Stick your jab, double jab, jab to the head, jab to the body, stay on the outside, make this guy chase you and walk him onto something big. Instead of walking into the pocket and exchanging with him, make him chase you and walk him onto something big. That should have been the clear message from Lamont Roach's coaches to Lamont Roach, and that's what Lamont Roach should have been doing in those rounds against Pitbull Cruz. Because if he was doing that, and he's capable of doing that, in my opinion, again, it's something else because we have to see it. I can sit here until the cows come home and tell you, well, he's a good enough boxer to do it. You actually have to do it, bro. You actually have to fight Pitbull Cruz and then implement this game plan and beat him to show people. I know he's good enough to do it, but what does that mean? That means absolutely nothing in the world of boxing. Just because I know it to be true doesn't mean that, you know what I mean? Doesn't mean he gets a big payday. Doesn't mean he gets a world championship. Yeah, Lamont Roach is good enough to do it. So ultimately, if he runs it back with Pitbull Cruz, which I don't know what's going to happen, we don't know what the situation is going to be there. He didn't get the rematch with Tank. If he doesn't get the rematch with Pitbull, then surely he has to get the rematch with Pitbull. But if he doesn't, then maybe he'll fight someone else at 140. Honestly, he should go back down to 135. I think he could have a lot of joy there. I think he could, depending on the way the weight division shakes up, he could even land himself a world championship, assuming that Shakur isn't super keen to unify, and Lamont Roach can fight maybe Andy Cruz, maybe Floyd Schofield, not Tevin Farmer. He maybe could fight Floyd Schofield for a vacant title. Lamont Roach. Do you know what I mean? There's potentially routes there. At 140, it's just a death's row, in my opinion. 140 is an absolute death's row, and if you can't even beat Pitbull, then, do you know what I mean, bro? Like, maybe the same for you. At 140, But if he can rematch Pitbull and beat him decisively, then Lamont Roach adds his name to a long list of killers at 140. So, I'd be curious to know what you guys thought of Lamont Roach's game plan for his fight against Pitbull Cruz. Do you think he boxed the right way? Do you think this was like the best case scenario for Lamont Roach? Or do you think he could have potentially boxed differently and got a different outcome and hopefully even come away with the win? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest in the bag, and I'm out. Peace.